Ma'am has guided 14.
This call is now being recorded.
I welcome Dr. G. Uma Ma'am, Professor, Anna University. She is associated with the Division of Power Electronics and Drive. Ma'am has guided 14 PhD scholars and MS completed 2%. Ma'am has published papers in IEEE, IET, elsewhere 54 journals. H index is 17, I-10 index 28. I think this is March month data. Now if you see, ma'am will be higher side only. This is March month data I have telling. The project done by ma'am as power quality enhancement using custom power devices funded by AICTE. Ma'am has held the position Professor in Charge, PG Program Power Electronics and Drive, HOD EEE, PEG Campus, and research areas power quality, distributed generation, electric vehicles, sales. I welcome you, ma'am, for this today afternoon sessions will be handled by ma'am. The topic for the session 2, analysis of single and three-phase systems in power quality, which will be 2 to 3 p.m. and then questionnaire session followed by, and next session will start. The title is mitigation of current harmonics using shunt active filter. I hand over the session to ma'am. Kindly deliver the session, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Dr. Usha. Thank you. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. In the first half, today I will be handling two sessions. In the first session, I will be discussing about the analysis of single phase and three phase systems. Second part about the design, about the working of shunt active filters. Okay. Is it visible to all? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let me proceed. Okay. So normally, power quality is a term which is a combination of voltage quality into current quality. So power, normally as an electrical engineer, we used to say power equal to, it's not the exact definition. Power can be defined as the interaction between the voltage and the current. So power quality means it's a voltage quality and the current quality. Put together defines the power quality. So what is voltage quality? When we say voltage quality, it is a responsibility of the utility. So we are all consumers. Whoever is drawing power from the electricity board, we are all consumers. The power producer, the power provider is called the utility. So the power provider, let us say for example in Tamil Nadu we have the state electricity board. The state electricity board is the power provider for us, and all the loads that are connected to the grid, they are the consumers. So it is a.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, can you?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Can you put in full screen mode, ma'am?
1 second.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
yes,
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you proceed, ma'am?
Okay. Now it is a combination of voltage quality and current quality. As I mentioned earlier, the power the provider, that electricity board, it is a responsibility of the utility. He is called the utility. The utility has to maintain the voltage quality, and as consumers, it is our responsibility to maintain the current quality. So let us, before going into the definition of voltage quality and current quality, we are working with the two types of systems, electrical systems, AC and DC. So in the case of, whatever may be the type of supply or the type of load, let us say if we take a DC supply feeding a DC load, whatever the current drawn from the DC source, the current drawn from the DC source has to be the same. It has to follow the same time variation as that of the voltage. Even in the case of AC, it is an oscillating waveform at 50 hertz. So whatever the current, the AC loads, whatever the loads that are connected to the AC system, the loads, they need to draw current in phase, and the current drawn by the load has to be sinusoidal with the supply voltage. So voltage quality, they are the definitions of the current quality. So if it is a DC system, the current drawn by the DC load has to be a constant one. If it is an AC system, the current drawn by the AC load has to be a pure sinusoid, and it has to be in phase. These are all the requirements. It has to be pure sinusoid. So if we take the voltage quality, the voltage has to be if it is a DC system, the voltage has to be at the rated value without any ripples in the voltage. Or even if the system is loaded, there should not be any deviation in the voltage level. So the DC source should act as a stiff DC source. So if we take an AC system, the voltage, the same definition, the AC source has to act as a stiff AC source, irrespective of the loading condition, that there should not be any drop, or there should not be any reduction in the RMS voltage. And also, in the case of DC, there is no frequency. In the case of AC, the voltage has to be at the rated value, and the frequency of the AC waveform has to be 50 hertz. And these two are and the RMS and the magnitude of the supply voltage, RMS voltage, has to be at 1 per unit. So these three things are very much needed in the case of AC systems, and this is applicable in the case of single phase AC. If we go for a 3-phase AC system, we have a 3-phase 3-wire and 3-phase 4-wire systems. So accordingly, all the three phase voltages, they should be they all have the same magnitude. They all should have the same magnitude, same frequency, and they should be phase shifted by 120 degrees apart, and all of them should run at the same angular frequency of 50 hertz. So only then we can say that it is a balanced system. So these are all if any deviation occurs either in the voltage, apart from this definition, if any voltage waveform of any voltage profile does not meet these requirements, then we can say that it is a voltage quality problem. Similarly, the current drawn by the load, if it is not in phase, if it does not follow the same variation of the supply voltage, then we can say then it is a current quality. There is a problem in the current quality. There are many issues in power quality which occurs at different frequencies, and I am taking about the voltage quality and talking about the harmonics problem, which is more common in distribution systems. The two major problems occurring in power quality is concern power quality which has received the attention of power quality are: one is the load voltage regulation, another one is the current harmonics. I am focusing on the current harmonics in today's session. Any doubts? Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 4 major issues. Saxwell, they are related to the load voltage. Harmonics, it is related to the current. It will also occur in the load voltage, but more predominantly it will occur only due to the use of the different types of loads. And the other major issues that one has to understand in the distribution side are power factor and the transients. So when we say power quality is a term used mainly in the distribution side. So I have seen people talking about power quality in transmission systems. You should not use those terms. So in the case of transmission systems, voltage quality and power transfer, they are the two important things. They won't talk about power quality in the case of transmission systems. So when we talk about distribution systems, only the term power quality has to be used only in the distribution side. Anyhow, hope you have followed. So my attention here in afterwards is on the harmonics. Harmonics is let us say if the voltage is a pure sinusoidal signal. Any deviation from the sinusoidal nature of the signal, voltage or current, if the voltage is not a sinusoid, then it can be termed as a non-sinusoidal signal. Any non-sinusoidal signal can be expressed using Fourier series as a sum of sine and cosine. We can say that when we express using Fourier series, we have the fundamental component and the harmonic components, multiples of the fundamental frequency. So the multiples of the fundamental frequency, they are called the harmonic components. These harmonic components, they have the same, they have a frequency which are integer multiples of the supply frequency. They are not they are the integer multiples of the supply frequency. So this non-sinusoidal waveforms, it may occur either in the voltage signal or in the current signal. So these any deviation from the sinusoidal nature, we can, and if the signal is periodic in nature, then we can call it as a harmonic problem. Okay. So we have current and voltage harmonics. You consider this simple equivalent circuit where we have the supply voltage. This is the supply voltage. This is the feeder impedance, and here the load is connected. The load connected at this point, it may be a combination of linear loads and a non-linear load. So first you have to understand here, a linear load is one. A linear load is a resistive load is a typical example of a linear load. A resistive load draws a current, a supply voltage connected to a pure resistance. So AC source connected to a pure resistance, a single phase supply connected to a pure resistance. So it depicts a linear load. So the current drawn by the load will be in phase with the voltage, and it will be a sinusoid. So any other load which draws a non-sinusoidal current from the supply voltage can be called as a non-linear load. Whatever the load that the load means we are drawing current from the utility. We are drawing power from the utility. So the current drawn by the load, if it is a pure sinusoidal signal, then we can say that the current, it's a linear load. If the current is if the current drawn by the load is non-linear, meaning which if it does not follow the same variation of the voltage, then in that case it is a non-linear load. So practically many of the loads, whenever any switching device is incorporated in the load side, let us say an AC voltage controller, light dimmer, all these things, we are as an example only I am telling, a simple example, a heater type of load. So we are using some thermostats or a triac based controllers to control the load power. So we are using some solid state switches to control the load power. So the use of these solid state switches, they cut the current, they chop the current. So this chopping introduces multiple frequencies in the supply current. So one advantage is using this solid state switches, we are able to get the desired load VI characteristics. But the disadvantage, whatever we are incurring is we are drawing a nonlinear current from the utility. This nonlinear current has multiple frequencies. One in phase with one frequency at the repetition rate of the supply voltage and integer multiples of the supply frequency. So that's what here. If we look at the diagram, so when we when we have a group of loads, so I have shown a simple thyristor here as an example. Any switching device, the moment you connect a diode, the current will become nonlinear. Therefore, the use of solid state devices, the use of switching devices, they alter the current nature. So when these loads, when they are connected to the bus, they tend to draw a nonlinear current. So a nonlinear current is comprised of the very simple method of understanding a nonlinear current is, first it is periodic in nature. Any periodic signal can be expressed using Fourier series. Therefore, this when you expand using Fourier series, it has fundamental and harmonic components. Therefore, the current drawn by the load, the current drawn by this load, it has a fundamental component and harmonic components, different frequencies. And when you talk about frequency, they are the integer multiples of the supply frequency, 1, 2, 3. When you use the Fourier series, the sigma n varying from 1 to infinity. Okay, n is a harmonic number, 1, 2, 3, etc. So in the case of AC networks, am I going fast or should I go slow? Hello?
Ma'am,
It's okay.
here, ma'am, you can go in the same order.
The same way?
It's
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Pa. The current drawn by the load, it has a fundamental frequency and multiple. So normally in the case of AC systems, owing to the symmetry of the waveform, we have there are two symmetries in the AC waveforms. AC it has a half wave symmetry and harmonic symmetry will be there. So one is the harmonic symmetry. Many of the AC loads, many of the current waveforms, they will have odd functional symmetry. So it will be an odd function. And apart from that, within one cycle of the AC current waveform, the positive half will be alike as that of the negative half. Meaning which many of the AC loads, they will not draw any DC component. Mathematically speaking, there is no, when I expand Fourier series, it is A0 by 2, f of t equal to A0 by 2 plus sigma n varying from 1 to infinity, an cos n omega t plus bn sin n omega t. The first component, A0, is an average component. So that is the average value, that is a DC component. So many of the AC loads, even though they are non-linear, they will draw a current in such a fashion that when we analyze the waveform, the waveforms tend to exhibit odd functional symmetry and half wave symmetry. So when you have to look for these two symmetries. So odd functional symmetry will be an odd waveform. It will be an odd function. So f of t equal to minus of f of minus t. And functional harmonic symmetry, within one cycle of the AC signal, the negative half will be alike as that of the positive half. Okay, so meaning which there is no DC, the average value over one cycle will be 0. So that is the meaning of harmonic symmetry. So if signals or waveforms possessing these two symmetries, they will have only sinusoidal component and odd harmonics. Hope you follow. It is whatever I am telling is with respect to Fourier series. So f of t, when I say f of t, say there is no DC component. The summation sigma n equal to odd bn sin n omega t, that is a component you will be getting. That is the scenario in most of the 95 to 97% of the AC loads. They tend to draw the current. They may be nonlinear loads, but the current waveform will satisfy these two properties, and hence only odd harmonics will be drawn by the nonlinear loads. So there will be these odd harmonics. One is the fundamental component. So 3, 5, 7, like that. These are all the different harmonic currents that will flow in the load. So they are the different components of the current flowing in the load. Whatever the current flowing through the load, it has to flow via the feeder. Okay. So when these harmonic currents flow via the feeder, they will create harmonic voltage drops. So we have voltage drop, the reactive drop. The reactive drop across the inductance is x into I. Okay, so this x into x is a function of frequency. So when we have for the different frequencies present in the current waveform, we have different harmonic voltage drops. In the feeder impedance. So and hence supply voltage minus this different voltage drop, harmonic voltage drops. We have one drop at the fundamental frequency R plus jx into I, and at I1 R plus jx x3 into I3, R plus jx into I5 into x, like that. Different harmonic voltage drops will occur across this feeder impedance. So supply, even though the supply is a pure sinusoidal signal, that's what it is mentioned here. Even though the supply is a pure sinusoidal signal, the supply minus the feeder drop, harmonic, this feeder drop occurs due to the nonlinear current. So supply voltage minus the feeder drop, it presents a distorted voltage at the load end. Hope you follow. Okay, it presents a distorted voltage at the load end. Now, in this bus, if the loads, if all the loads are nonlinear, in a bus, many loads will be connected. If all the loads are nonlinear loads, there is no problem. In this bus, if some of them are linear load users and some of them may be a nonlinear load users. Okay, so in that case, the culprit is the nonlinear load user who distorts who is responsible for the distortion of the bus voltage. So in the same bus, some other linear load users may also get connected. So, but even though they are genuine, they are those customers, they are not presented with a sinusoidal voltage. That's a present scenario. So the main culprit is harmonic currents flowing through the system impedance results in harmonic voltages at the load. Now, from the load end, the load voltage gets distorted and the current also gets distorted. Now, when we say power is a combination of voltage into current. Okay. Now, I'll come to that later. I'll come to that. So total harmonic distortions. So distortion, when the signal is a pure sinusoidal signal, current or voltage, then the distortion is 0. Okay, so the total harmonic distortion is an index. What is the percentage distortion that has occurred? How much the sinusoidal signal has deviated from its true nature? That is the definition. So it defines the total harmonic content of either the current or voltage. So it is defined as a ratio. So the denominator of the total harmonic distortion is a ratio of two components, either current to current or voltage to voltage. So in the numerator, all the unwanted components, you take the RMS and the square and add. The denominator, what is their percentage when compared to the fundamental? So that's why it is defined as ratio of the RMS of the harmonic content to the RMS of the fundamental. So this is the way how the harmonic distortion is defined. I'll come to this later. And there is something called the point of common coupling. It is a point in the public network which is closest to the consumer concerned and to which other consumers are or may be connected and are or may be connected. You just make a note of it. I'll explain this with respect to single line diagram in the forthcoming slide. So at the point of common coupling, the consumer, the utility and the consumers, they will handshake. Therefore, at the point of common coupling, at the interface between utility and the consumers, harmonic levels are to be maintained. Current harmonic levels are to be maintained by the end user and voltage harmonic levels are to be maintained by the utility. So here it's mentioned as at the point of common coupling, that is, at the point of common coupling is a place where the utility and the consumers, they will connect. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, utility takes care of the voltage. Voltage will be at the rated value, pure sinusoidal, frequency 50 Hertz, balanced. If it is a 3-phase, all these things will be taken care by the utility. Now, in this supply network, we are going to connect a load. So these loads will draw different. The nature of the current drawn by the loads will be different. So here the harmonic levels are to be maintained. The meaning is the utility has to maintain the voltage profile and the consumers, they need to maintain the current profile. That is the meaning. This is as per the IEEE 1992-2014 standard. Okay, so this is a simple single line diagram of AC distribution network that we have seen in many of the textbooks. So the primary distribution begins at 132 kV. It is stepped up, then via the transmission line. Again, this is the distribution end. Okay, in this distribution network, the city infeed, the incoming, the lowest distribution voltage is 11 kV, and it is stepped down to 415 and 415 to 230 if it is a single phase system. Now, here you focus here. That's what I mentioned here. 11 kV bar 415. So now each one will be serving. Let us say now we are in Chennai. This one may serve one area. Let us say Adayar. This one may serve another area, let us say Gindi. Like that, each group, each one is a major component, and they will have different distribution transformers. And further 415 bar 230 will stepping down will happen here. Okay, this is a simple diagram. Now, if we take a point of common coupling, it is up to the end user where the end user wants to maintain the power quality. So if all the loads are connected in this fashion, if all the loads are lumped and seen, then for the end user, he may also consider this as this point, that is primary of this 11 kV as a PCC point. This is one option. It is always PCC is a point defined by the end user. Okay. Now here, each one will be serving different areas, and it will be in the power level will be in terms of kilowatt, hundreds of kilowatts. Okay. Now each one will have a step down transformer. Each load will have a step down transformer, and so when we have step down transformers in each of these loads, and those loads are connected on the secondary side of the step down transformers, then you can also define this point as PCC. Okay, so it's how so the PCC is only a definition, is only where we want to maintain the harmonic levels. Now, power distribution, a practical scenario. The power distribution can be divided under two categories. One is the single phase system, another one is the three phase system. In the case of single phase, the loads can be broadly classified as linear loads and non-linear loads. Three phase system, the load may be three phase 3-wire or three phase 4-wire, and depending upon the nature of the load, we have either the balanced linear load and unbalanced linear loads and unbalanced non-linear loads. So the loads are categorized. Okay, let us say linear load, single phase system fed from a sinusoidal voltage source. So we have power equal to VI cos phi. I'll take another slide with an example from NPTEL this thing. I'll suspend this and I'll go to that. So let us take a simple example. This is an example I have taken from NPTEL Power Quality in Distribution Systems by Mahesh Kumar sir. So that in that NPTEL notes I have taken, consider this example. Consider a sinusoidal supply voltage P of T supplying a linear load at 50 Hertz. Okay, this is a simple example. In no time, if we teach undergraduate, so what we used to say, this V by Z equal to I. Directly RMS value be 230 divided by the magnitude of the impedance, will get the RMS current. 230 is the RMS voltage. 230 divided by the magnitude modulus of the impedance, 12 square plus 13 square under the square root. If we take, you will get the RMS current. Then RMS current can be expressed in the time domain form. Okay, that's how we used to write. The same example, this is a simple example we used to do in the undergraduate circuit theory or a circuit theory subject. Now let us express I of t as a function of time. Okay. So now if we see the phi equal to this root 2 into I into sine of omega t minus phi, I equal to V by Z and phi equal to tan inverse of X by R. Now accordingly the phi will vary depending upon the nature of the load impedance. The load impedance will be inductive in nature or capacitive in nature. Okay, this is a simple problem we can very easily understand. So now compute. Now what I want, why I have taken this example means, first, if the voltage is sinusoid, current is sinusoid, meaning which both are having the same angular rotation, same angular frequency, then in the case we can write V by Z or V by I. All these ratios are applicable only if both voltage and the current have the same time variation. Okay. You should not use V by I or V by Z to calculate the other parameters when any one of them, either voltage or current, has deviated from the sinusoidal nature. That is the first point, you have to take it in mind. When any voltage or current does not follow the time variation, then in that case you should not use V by I or the other the conventional circuit theory expressions you should not use. This is a simple example, you can very easily understand, you can go through that. Now there is something called, we can say power equal to VI cos phi. Power equal to VI cos phi, which has the unit of watt, and the reactive volt ampere VI sin phi. This is directly by taking the, if you take a linear load, this is RMS voltage, RMS current, and cosine of the phase difference. But when there is a nonlinear load, meaning which when the voltage or current has multiple frequencies, when the voltage is having a frequency of 50 hertz and the current is having a frequency of 50 hertz, 150 hertz, 250 hertz, how will you define the power? So power is the interaction of the like frequency components. That is the first point. Power is the interaction of the like frequency components. Unlike frequency components will not produce any power. So this is illustrated by considering the instantaneous power. That is something called instantaneous power. So here that's why express based on what is the instantaneous power. It is P of T. Normally used to say it is the product of voltage into current. That's all. Nothing more than that. No cos phi or something. Take the instantaneous voltage expression and take the instantaneous current expression, form P of T. That's just very simple. Okay. Now we have V of T. Let us take an example where V of T is 230 root 2 sin omega t and I of T has some magnitude, the sine of omega t. The instantaneous power, as you understand, is V of T into I of T. When you multiply both, you have different components like this. 230. Okay. So this can be classified as the cosine component, average component, and the cosine component. We can call it as P active of T. The cosine, this is the first component, and this is the cosine component at twice the supply frequency, and this is the sinusoidal component twice the supply frequency. So this this constant component, this 220, it's a DC component. This is a double frequency component. This is also a double frequency component. We have one cosine double frequency and a sinusoidal double frequency. So the average and the cosine component put together, we can call it as P active of T. So they are all lower case. Instant to instant it will vary. That's why they are used for lower case letters. The next one is the P reactive of T. So the above also, so it's a P reactive. Now there is something called average real power. Average power. This is the per cycle power transferred from the source to the load. So this is responsible. This is the one. The capital P is responsible for the energy transfer, power transfer from the source to the load. So it is the average power transferred over one supply cycle. This T is 20 millisecond for us. This is the average power transferred over one supply cycle to the load. So this is this average power. This is the capital P. Capital P. This is the per cycle power transferred from source to the load. Okay. So this is has the, when you do this integration, when we do this integration over one supply cycle, this average component, when you do the integration of the different components, integration of cosine cos 2 omega t at 50 hertz, and the integration of double frequency component at 50 hertz, this will become zero. The average value becomes zero. It has it's a double frequency component. It incorporates two time periods, and both are symmetrical, and the average value becomes zero in both the cases. Therefore, when you average this power, what that emerges out is the DC component. This DC component, this is given here. So this DC component, it is always it is produced. When you just look into this, it is this DC component 2028.23. It is produced by the interaction of voltage of same frequency and the current of the same frequency. Instantaneously, we have double frequency components, both active and reactive. So they simply oscillate between the source and the load. There is also something called, we also know that it is a reactive power. The reactive power is the maximum of the sine component. This is the component. This is Q max. This is Q max. That's what it is given. This is a Q max. Now apparent power. Now it's a very simple case. An undergraduate example only I have taken. And if we look into the apparent power, it is the definition of voltage into current. RMS voltage into RMS current, we are getting some value. And power factor is a typical number. Is a value which clearly reflects the line utilization. Whatever volt ampere we have drawn from the source, how much of the volt ampere we have drawn from the source, how much is converted into power. So for a given VA, for a given volt ampere drawn from the utility, how much is converted into power? Power is responsible for doing work. Therefore, how much of VA drawn from the source is converted into active power? It is a measure of line utilization. So, a power factor of 1 is an example where whatever VA we have drawn from the source, it is completely converted into power. It has a maximum utilization. Therefore, it is a measure of this power factor. This power factor term normally is used only in the distribution side. People won't use in transmission systems. Okay, power factor always in the DC distribution side. Therefore, this power factor is a measure of the line utilization. Always it is ratio of the average power consumed by the capital P divided by the total volt ampere. This point you have to drive in your mind. Okay, this is a simple case. We can directly by looking at cos phi, by looking at the phase angle. Cos of 47.29 is the power factor. Directly we can say that. Now we'll take another example where the load is capacitive. We can do the problem in the similar lines. So they are the pictorial waveforms. This is the voltage signal and this is the current signal. Voltage, current, the product. This is the P of T. The P of T waveform is an oscillatory waveform, and P active of T, DC and the cosine component, green color, DC and the cosine component, and P reactive of T. And when you do the average, you look into you focus on the blue color waveform. You focus on the blue color waveform. The blue color waveform has more positive area, it has less negative area. Therefore, it has an average component. That average component is reflected here, which is approximately 2200. This is the average component.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, your slide is not changing, it seems, ma'am.
Oh.
It is in single phase system fed from sinusoidal voltage source.
Oh, is it not coming?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I have to minimize that, or I don't know how to do that? Let me try.
It is in minimization only, ma'am. Just.
Okay. Now, can you see that? Now, you are not able to follow now?
No, ma'am. Screen is not visible, ma'am.
Oh.
Now it's visible.
Okay. Now I have gone to another slide. Probably I don't know how to. I have to close this slide and I have to open that.
Another PPT, ma'am.
Another PPT.
You have to minimize this and you can open that, ma'am.
That's what I have minimized.
Oh, it is not. Okay,
yes,
it is not coming, ma'am. Otherwise, you close this. You leave. You close this PPT and open that, ma'am.
Okay, okay. I'll just close this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Can you see now? Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Now, can you see the waveforms?
No, it is not coming, ma'am.
Don't know what to do. Okay, let me close all and I'll open.
Now now it is coming actually.
Okay, let me wait, please. Is it coming now?
No, ma'am, it is not coming, ma'am.
Okay, let me just close and once again start the.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
sorry, ma, it's not opening. But other thing, let me try once. Ma, it's not at all opening, ma. I don't know what to do.
PPT is not opening, ma'am.
No, another PDF, it's not opening.
PDF will not open, no, ma'am.
No, the one more file is opening. Yes, now it has come and it has gone.
Oh.
Yes,
Ma'am, you go to the concerned location, ma'am, and it will open, ma'am, whether it is whatever the file, PPT or PDF or what file, anything will open, ma'am.
But it's not opening. It's not showing.
It's coming, ma'am. It's coming, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Is it coming?
You have to share your slide, ma'am. PPT, ma'am.
Oh, okay. It's not.
Click your PPT, ma'am. Your screen is visible, ma'am. Ma'am, your screen is visible, ma'am.
Ma'am, kindly click this one, ma'am. You are presenting to everyone, no, ma'am. That you click that one, ma'am, and choose the file, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's going, I think so. PPT அனுப்பிட சொல்லுவாங்க என்னது யாரெல்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ணலாம்ல இதெல்லாம் சொல்லிடுவோம் மேம் மேம் ஹலோ ஆமா அங்க ஆஃப் பண்ணிருக்காங்க ma'am kindly you leave the meeting and then join ma'am we'll see ma'am otherwise we'll share the ppt ma'am
Dear participants, kindly bear this. Ma'am will be joining within a few minutes, ma'am.
Dr. Usha, I am unable to, earlier it was coming, now the PPT is not at all, it is not showing in the application window.
Okay. Ma'am, kindly send the PPT to the HTTP mail ID, ma'am. Yesterday I have sent the link to you.
Okay, I'll send. But I don't know how to.
We'll share, ma'am. I asked Vinita to.
No problem. I don't know how to proceed further.
Vinita?
Ma'am, you can check in the settings now, ma'am. In the settings tab, you have video option in which you can switch on your camera so that.
Yes, everything.
If there is two options there in camera, then it might be a problem. You can.
Camera, I have switched off.
Ma'am has switched off the camera from the beginning.
It is not the camera. It is under settings. You have camera option. Under settings video.
I went. Usha, please, I'll just go into the system and I'll log into another system, okay?
Okay, no problem, ma'am. We'll
Another
wait,
5 minutes.
no problem. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, you. Hello.
Ma'am?
Hello?
One second, ma'am. Vinita.
Yes, ma'am.
I inform the tomorrow session details, ma'am. 1 second, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Dear participants, thank you very much for your kind cooperation. Today now you have joined the 95. Morning 106 have attended. Today evening session we will be putting the feedback link to you only in the chat box, not in to the mail. Kindly you have to fill up the feedback link given in the chat box. Tomorrow morning, day 2, first session 10:30 to 11:30. Power quality enhancement using UPQC and HPFC by Dr. Rama Reddy sir. Then the afternoon session 2 to 3, machine learning techniques for power quality disturbance. Dr. Balaji sir from SSN. He is working in that area. He will be presenting. For that only we have chosen it. We have searched so many experts. Whoever has did the works, we have requested them. They are also accepted. All the resource persons are accepted. Session 3 for tomorrow. That is 3 to 4. Impact on power quality in microgrid. Dr. Somasundaram sir, Professor Tripoli, Anna University, will be handling the session. I request all the participants kindly mute your camera. Today morning we have observed so many things. We are also faculty members. Kindly follow the instructions given. I expect your full cooperation in this. It's my request. Don't ask anything. We will put in the WhatsApp group. 100 have joined. Now we are seeing only 97. So only for this persons have to completely attend all the sessions. At the end of each day session, we'll put the feedback link for each day. You kindly submit it. That will be the attendance. That will be the certificate will be given for that persons alone.
Usha?
Ma'am, ma'am,
Hello? Usha?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Kekudha? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
But I am unable to hear also. The screen is not getting shared. Pa.
Ma'am, send me to HTTP mail, ma'am. I will share, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what I can do is you just go to Google.
Google, ma'am.
Google power quality in distribution systems. By the first one will come as NPTEL lecture notes. Power quality in distribution systems.
Okay, ma'am.
That chapter 1, power single phase systems.
Which one, ma'am? NPTEL, ma'am?
NPTEL. The first one will be the NPTEL.
It is not coming.
Or the first one will be the index, or go to the chapter 2 and
It's coming, ma'am. Power quality in distribution system, ma'am.
in that chapter 2, single phase system.
ma'am,
Hello, Usha.
ma'am.
Usha, am I audible?
Kindly move on to the next topic, ma'am.
Okay.
Next topic,
Okay.
ma'am. Shunt active filter.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have downloaded, ma'am, 3-phase circuits,
Is
right,
there
ma'am?
anything?
No, I
Ma'am,
don't know how to.
3-phase circuits, power definitions, and various components.
Yes. Single phase. You go to single phase. The previous chapter you please take.
Ma'am, Uma, ma'am.
Yes, the previous chapter, not this 3-phase. Okay, you have it as a 3-phase. I will go to 3-phase. You share 3-phase.
Or module
No,
1,
you
ma'am.
share 3-phase. From there, I will go to shunt active filters.
Okay. 1 second, ma'am. Ma'am, is it coming,
No,
ma'am?
it's not coming.
Not coming. 1 second, ma'am. 1 second. Now it's coming, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Can I just
Yes, ma'am.
scroll down?
Okay, ma'am.
Am I audible now? Okay, shall I start?
Yes, ma'am. You are.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
No, that's what. Pardon? Hello?
you can proceed, ma'am.
Okay. Now, already I was explaining about the single phase systems. There was an interruption. Sorry. So, power, there is a concept called instantaneous power. The instantaneous power is the product of the instantaneous voltage into instantaneous current, from which we'll be averaging that instantaneous power over one supply cycle, over 20 millisecond. Averaging of that will yield the per cycle power transferred from the source to the load. So, that is the one. It has gone out once again. That's the one responsible for the energy transfer. And let me please, students, please follow whatever I am saying. There is some problem with the screen sharing, I think. Now also the screen is not visible.
Vinita? Hello?
Okay, Usha, Dr. Usha, you please try that.
Hello, Vinita?
Meantime, let me continue. Okay. There is something called instantaneous power. In the case of nonlinear systems, non-sinusoidal, when we deal with the non-sinusoidal voltages and currents, form the instantaneous power. Never use VI cos phi or VI sin phi to calculate P and Q. So use the instantaneous power. The instantaneous power is VI, product of the voltage into current. In the case of three-phase systems, can be classified under three categories. The first one is the known three phases balanced supply feeding a balanced load. In that case, directly the power transfer, the product of voltage into current is A phase voltage into A phase current, B phase voltage into B phase current. Please scroll down. B phase voltage into, let us say here the equation 2.1, the voltages are expressed as three voltages. They all have the same magnitude and they are displaced by 120 degrees apart. Please come down. Scroll down, please. No, please stop. So this is a figure 2.1 represents a three-phase four-wire system where the currents, in the case of three-phase four-wire system, if all the three loads are balanced, the current is V by I directly, V by Z you can directly write. Suppose if they are unbalanced, in that case, you have to calculate the phase currents and V by, suppose if we have Z1, Z2, Z3 here. A phase we have Z1, B phase Z2, C phase Z3. If all the three loads are different, they have different magnitudes, then you have to IA, IB, IC will be different. Okay, so that's what. Here it is a balanced case. The equation 2.2 represents a balanced case where all the three currents are equal, I, and they are displaced by 120 degrees apart and they have the same phase angle. Okay, please come down. And we have there is something called instantaneous power. Madam, can you please teach me how to scroll so that I can use from my system, because I'm not able to coordinate. Okay, there is something called instantaneous active power. The instantaneous active power is look at the expression. It is P lowercase p. It is the product. The first part is VAIA. A phase instantaneous power. Then B phase instantaneous. C phase. So PA plus PB plus PC. PA plus PB plus PC, that is the total instantaneous power. So when you form A phase voltage is sin omega t, some root 2b sin omega t, current root 2i sin omega t minus 5. So that's what. If you form the product of the instantaneous voltages into currents, then you will end up in getting an expressions like equation 2.4. So on averaging, the total three-phase power is 3 VI cos phi. On averaging that expression, you will end up in getting please scroll down, will end up in getting 3 VI cos phi. So in the case of three-phase power, the case of three-phase system, three-phase balanced supply, balanced load, the instantaneous power P of T is equal to the average power 3 VI cross phi. Whereas in the case of single phase system, P of T has an average component and oscillatory component. Reactive oscillatory active component and oscillatory reactive component. Whereas in the case of balanced system supplying a balanced load, instantaneous power is directly equal to 3 VI cos phi. Now, how to calculate the instantaneous reactive power? For that, we'll use the alpha beta transformation. So, transform the voltages and currents into alpha beta frame, then form the power P equal to V alpha I alpha plus V beta. That's what the first thing shows. This is P alpha I alpha plus V beta I beta. After all the transformations, you can end up in getting Q equal to 3 VI sin phi. So now please scroll down. Now let us take a theoretical, a practical case. Supplied voltages. Please scroll down. Voltages are balanced, but in a practical case, all the three load phase load, all the three phase loads may be unbalanced. Please scroll down. All the three impedances, phase impedances may not be equal. So in that case, the total three phase power. Please scroll down. Okay. Scroll down. When we calculate, when there is a supply voltage, very simple case, supply voltage balanced and the load is unbalanced, if we calculate P of T equal to P average plus P oscillatory. And if we calculate Q of T equal to Q average plus Q oscillatory. Can you follow? So, in the case of three phase, let me summarize. You can follow this, whatever the NPTEL notes, you can go through that later. In a nutshell, please remember that P of T, that means P three phase of T, lowercase, instantaneous three phase power has an average component and an oscillatory component, P average plus P oscillatory. Then similarly, Q three phase normally it is formed using the alpha beta transformation, the cross product of V alpha I beta plus V beta I alpha, based upon the cross product of alpha using the alpha beta frame, you can calculate the Q three phase. So in the Q three phase also, it will have Q average plus Q oscillatory. So that is the whether it is apart from the voltage, if the voltage and the currents are balanced, it is a very straightforward example. In a practical case, voltage will be balanced, loads may not be balanced, or voltage will be unbalanced and loads may be unbalanced. So in a practical scenario like this, the instantaneous three phase power is P average plus P oscillatory, and the instantaneous reactive power is Q average plus Q oscillatory. What are the meanings of these four terms? This P average is the component, it's the average power which is transferred over one supply cycle to the load. It is responsible for doing the work. The other components, oscillatory reactive components, P oscillatory, Q active, they simply run between the source and the load, increasing the total volt ampere of the system, total VA rating of the system. So, meaning which the three phase power factor definition, the numerator is always capital P average. This is the energy, whether it is AC system or DC system. Numerator is the work done component, watt component. The denominator is the total VA. It's a three phase VA. Therefore, in the case of all these three unwanted components, P oscillatory and the total Q, they circulate between the source, they oscillate between the source and the load, increasing the VA of the system, making the denominator of the power factor a large number. So this tends to reduce the three phase supply power factor. So we need to go for some compensation. Okay. So in order for there is something called, you need to understand, there is something called load compensation. In the case of three phase system, there is something called load compensation. The load compensation, the objective of the load compensation is make the three phase supply to see a balanced resistive load, whatever may be the load that you may be connecting on the other side. But using some compensating devices, make the source to see a balanced resistive load. So this is the function of the compensator. Can you follow? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is the function of the compensator. So one has to understand the load compensation and voltage regulation for linear system first. Voltage compensation and so this you need to that is the basic understanding. If you understand that, then the understanding of the shunt active filters will be easy. Now let me give I'll give a few minutes for the audience to ask some questions before proceeding with the design of the shunt active filter. Are there any doubts from the audience side? Okay, shall I proceed?
Ma'am,
Shall I proceed? No questions?
ma'am, can you, ma'am, kindly go on to the next topic, ma'am.
Okay, pa. I'll just reconnect because
Ma'am?
okay, I'll reconnect. I'll reconnect. The PPT is another system. Okay,
Okay,
I'll
ma'am.
just
Okay,
take
ma'am.
few minutes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I don't know what happened.
No problem, ma'am. Everyone is facing the net problem,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay.
No problem. Hmm?